All right, Red Dog here. I am back. I haven't posted an update for well over a year, pretty much ever since I got transferred to another hotel within our company. I've been really busy. In this past year, I've had hip surgery. I'm still kind of recovering from that. At my age, you tend to recover a little slower. So it's been 5 months, so I really haven't done anything to this tank. The videos and the pictures you're going to see is accumulated over the last year. So you'll see at some points my tank was still relatively new, so there was a lot of dinos and stuff in there. But I'm going to talk to you about an impulse buy that I had. I saw this rose tip anemone at my local fish store, and I really wanted him, and I didn't do the research on him. I've researched everything else I've put into this tank, and I'm just going to tell you how these nems bit me in the ass. So I put the nem in there. This is the first day that I put him in there. He was in there maybe 10 seconds before the female maroon clown started loving on him, and it didn't take anything for them to click and mesh. A lot of people have trouble with them hosting nems, trying to get them to host, but maroon clowns are very easy. Like I said, 10 seconds and she was already on it. So there's going to be accumulation of pictures and stuff that I've taken throughout the year and showing you what this nem has turned into. It's basically turned into a monster. In fact, I have a new project coming up. I'll be posting some videos on that. But with this guy, so that's where he was, day one, sitting in that spot. He got off the rock and moved over to this corner. And the clowns were happy. They had like a little studio apartment. But you can see it grew a little bit. My Goby was not impressed. He's like, yeah, whatever. So that's where the nem stayed for a few months. It kept getting bigger, and like I said, I didn't research it. I was feeding it scallops every couple of days. I'd cut off a piece of scallop and throw it in there, and he just kept growing and growing. The clowns were happy. They had a large one-bedroom apartment right now, and then it split. So the clowns had themselves a little two-bedroom apartment to live in, and things were, going well. In the meantime, I had this little zinnia garden, or zinnia forest is what I called it. It started with just a little head on the left-hand side. You see a little square. So I called it a forest. Well, it continued to grow, and my nems continued to grow and continued to split. And now all of a sudden, my clowns had a three-bedroom apartment, or technically three-bedroom small house. My yellow tang was still not that impressed, but he was just bummed that he couldn't hang out in this corner anymore. Meanwhile, you can see my zinnia forest on the right, thriving, doing very well. And I kept feeding the nems and kept them in that spot. One moved to the front of the tank and latched on to the very bottom of the rock. And you can see it would be a pain to get out of there. They kept growing and they kept splitting, but they were still on that side of the tank. I just didn't have any corals over there. I had one coral in that area. And as you can see at the top, my zinnia forest is still thriving. And then they split again, and one popped up on the other side of the tank. That was the beginning of the end. The clowns were happy. They had a 4-bedroom house, about 2,700 square feet. They were loving it. Meanwhile, my zinnia forest was not loving it. In fact, you can see there's still a little bit there in that picture, and there's 5 nems right there. Them getting themselves a mansion. The clowns were so happy, they decided to lay eggs on a rock, which obviously I couldn't take care of. I wasn't prepared for it, and they've been laying eggs every week since then. Meanwhile, my forest is gone. A lot of my corals are gone. They've split. They've popped up in different parts of the tank and just been wiping out my corals quick. So what I'm going to do is I have another project going on, and I'll be showing that to you shortly. right, so this is what the tank looks like today. It is February 2nd, 2020, and I've already fed them, so they've actually retracted a little bit. There's all my buckets. I got that all filled up with salt water for my next project. You'll be seeing that soon. So this is what it looks like. I don't have any corals on this side. My Zoa garden has been kind of depleted. That was looking really good. Those I don't care about. I do want to get that leather moved over and go around my mess. I've got projects everywhere. And my tank right here is a little dirty because this little bugger right here keeps laying eggs on that cord and on that cord, which there's none over there right now, but usually he has both of these filled up. So it's kind of hard for me to get over there and clean that. My acans took a big devastating hit. They're starting to come back and encasing that rock. I had to move another one down here. He got devastated, and a nem popped out of that hole and just, you know, wrecked everything. So some around here. Nope, they must have already hatched. It's where the clowns have been laying their eggs lately. And like I said, I don't have a rotifer culture going, so there's no way I can save any of these babies. But maybe once I get my other project done, then I should be able to do it. So if you're intrigued on what's coming up, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you like this. And I'll be seeing you again in a couple of days. See ya.